Good afternoon, members. We are back from our recess. It's 1:21 p.m. Earlier we had because there was a court hearing this morning. The committee was able to hear from the Department of Natural Resources, the Department of Community and Cultural Affairs, and Department of Public Works during the morning break. And so we're here now, and before us we have the Department of Fire and Emergency Medical Services. Police, I apologize. So we have the Department of Public Safety, and with regards to their budget request submittal, and with that, I'll now offer the floor to you, um, Mr. Marquita. I think, please state your name for.
Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to everybody that's here today. My name is Manuel. Actually, I'm the acting resident director for 1 week. So we've got 1 week today. So, yes.
Thank you. Did the director provided opening statement, or we're just gonna go straight into and hopefully you can answer some of the requests that he has submitted.
Actually, sir, all I have is a few copies of the budget submission that they prepared and gave to that they submitted. Other than that, if you guys want a copy, I have three sets of copies from the inside and the
Okay, no, we have the copy, we have our own, and we have the submittal by the director. And so with that, I guess the first question I would have now is with regards to the current FTEs, and aside from the current two that it's showing vacant, everyone, the 47, I believe, it's 47 is currently working for the department right now. Is that correct? No one has resigned or
Yes,
left.
sir. This is correct.
So 47 is currently active FTEs for your department.
Yes, sir.
Um, I did notice the submittal for the operation, and it's based on the revolving fund. I believe there is still a balance, and that's why the administration allowed for some operational to be utilized by the department. So just want to clarify that. Can we get an update as to the priorities that the department needs to this body?
Sir, to be honest, I cannot answer none of the questions. I am not knowledgeable what was submitted or what available in the department. As I said, I was just appointed for a week. The individual that's supposed to answer your questions and all he's coming in next week, I can give him ask him if he could submit within whatever requirement you guys want.
Okay. Um, okay. Let me take a short recess. So. Commissioners, we're back. And just for the viewing public and members, we have to excuse Mr. Athlete because he cannot respond to some of the questions we have. We would work with the representative from Rota to get some detailed questions or some detailed answers to be, I guess, reported to us, but we can't review at least scrutinize what was submitted to the body. But from what the acting director mentioned, that everybody that was in the proposal is to actively working in the department. So with that, members, we will take a short recess, and I believe we have one more, which is the defense. So we'll take a quick break until they come in. Thank you. We're back, and before us we have the Department for Defense. I see we have a former colleague. Good afternoon, Commissioner. Thank you for making yourself present today and to discuss the proposal submitted to the Ways and Means. And with that, I'll give you the floor to introduce your management team and for your opening statement. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I truly appreciate everybody's presence. It's really an honor to have you guys here. Once again, bigyan tinawag sa laki, no, tataginin na siya, no? To my right is Assistant Fire Chief Ron Ivanhovo, been with the department for 34 years. Wow. And I also have to my left is Chief Joe Oko. He's been with the department also for quite a while now. And my admin specialist, Larry Napoli, is also here to try and put our heads together and try our very best to answer each and every one's question if you guys may have. But without further ado, I would like to start by saying that Defense Rota submitted a total of approximately $1.5 million of funding. And I guess everybody's fully aware that the bulk of this request is actually going to cover the cost of personnel. And of course, we are also asking for the indulgence and support of the members if we can also be given the support for the request that was submitted for operations. But other than that, Mr. Chairman, we do have two revolving fund counts, one of which is the ambulance fee and the other one is the fire safety code. And let me see, there will increase the amount as of today for the ambulance fee, I believe, for the ambulance revolving fund account, as of today, we have about $1,600 plus. And with the fire safety code, pretty much identical at 1,300 plus. So that's where we stand today. As far as local budget is concerned, we're just playing it by ear. Whatever comes our way, we truly appreciate that. And of course, we're getting a lot of support from the mayor's office and some other local agencies that we have here. We stand ready to take any question, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Commissioner. I guess because your revolving fund or special account, there is fund balances, and I'm thinking that's the right amount because what was proposed by the administration was 10,000, and it shows that I guess the ambulance fees has over 8,000, and the close to 10,000, majority of the ambulance fee for Rota. So that was before us, so we just clarifying, we just need to clarify we need to say building fire code, right? That's 1,300, so that's something that we look at carefully. The department, the current FTEs are still intact. There's no one left or resigning or transferred.
I'm pretty sure the number that I'm looking at is accurate, but we do have 3 vacant firefighter 1 positions that was actually being proposed by the governor for funding source for the fiscal year 2025 dollar. So kind of put us to hold on that, but that's where we stand.
Yes. So the current FTEs or the number of NOPs, no one has left aside from the vacant positions. Everyone is still with the department.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you for that. I'll open it up to the members now for questions, clarification. I remember the last budget hearing, there was a request for a fire engine. Was that issue resolved? If I'm not mistaken, one was down or?
Our fire truck is actually in good working condition, we're not complaining, Mr. Chairman, but we do anticipate and realize the function of the Bruce fire truck that's been funded federally. I believe it's through grants, I believe. Right? Yeah. So that's what we're waiting for action.
Does, I forget last, does the defense have, voting? No votes here, or that's.
No, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, let me recognize Representative Marissa Flores.
Thank you, sir, and your team for being here. I only have some questions, just clarification. On your travel expenses, are these mandated travel? What is your, you have 70,000 for travel expenses.
That is correct, Congresswoman, and we normally and traditionally submit this number, slightly higher than I believe a few budget systems a while back, but this is mainly to cover trainings, certain recertifications, and so forth that is required upon the members of the fire.
So in a given year, the 70,000 can sustain how many people to travel?
Basically, more than half of the team, or for that matter, the whole team, because, for example, the recent certification that we had, the EMP certification, that is across the board. Everybody must be certified in order to go into the ambulance, for example.
So this is only training for between Rota and Saipan?
Rota Saipan, it could be elsewhere. Depends on where the facility is available at, then we must avail for that.
Okay, so for off-island trips, how many people out of the 7,000 outside of Saipan?
It really depends, like I said, for instance, Chief Okuk here, who is the head of 3 divisions, and he's also an arson investigator. Sometimes it requires a bit to travel outside the Commonwealth
All
for
right.
purposes.
All right, thank you. And then you have, on buildings, this is capital asset, I believe. It's on buildings. You're requesting, your submission was 60,000. What is that?
Okay, we were hoping that, we acquired the land, which is actually just next to the entrance of the Superior Court. That was actually been committed a while back. So we were hoping that with the funding that we have, we will be able to start more from the ground up, and then we'll try our best to probably avail to 702 or maybe some other source of funding. But, and again, with the existing building that we're at right now here in Singapore area, there's a lot of question behind, there's encroachment issue and so forth. So, to say that we are situated permanently is of a question. There's a lot of question behind that. So we really try not to put a lot of investment, taxpayers' dollar, trying to either renovate the building or expand the building for that matter. Because of those issues, we try to work closely with DPL, see if we can be granted with the property that we're asking for, at least on a lease condition or a deed. But again, those things are still in the works, but with the $6,000 again, it could be used for something else, like renovations of the building out at Station 7, or even for that matter here at Station 8. So that's where we are with the $60,000 that we're requesting.
So that would just be really for improvements
That is
or
correct.
land acquisition?
Yeah. Maybe not land acquisition, Madam Congresswoman, but like I said, it is just something to start off with us, maybe do some groundwork on it. If we're fortunate enough to be, blessed with that.
All right. I just wanted to ask on those 2 things. There were numbers that struck out. I think I'm going to yield my time for now. I know there's some federal funds for capital improvement. But I guess that's a discussion that your mayor will have to have. So, I think that's it for me, just those two questions. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Rep.
Thank you.
Flores. Rep. Judy.
Thank you, Commissioner Martita and your team for being present in today's budget hearing. Just a few questions. Repair maintenance, you're talking about the vehicles for, such as the ambulance and so forth, right? The 20,000 you're estimated as far as repair maintenance is concerned?
It basically covers the whole fleet. Yeah, so again, it varies, situation varies depending on what season we're in. So at times like, the dry season, our response as opposed to, being on a regular, or in a normal environment, the cost of having to utilize the resources we have, at times will be 3 times greater than the normal operation. So it really depends on the given situation or, the nature of the activity that we're in.
And for the communications, does all of the firefighters, or at least those critical positions, have like a radio contact, or are they using their own personal phones, or what is that, the 20,000, is that for fire fee?
Communications, right? That covers pretty much the internet, and the likes, but, your question of, either we, have on hand or is it available with us, two-way radio system or any form of communication at hand? For the most part, our guys are utilizing their own personal phones, yeah.
So, this 20,000 is probably including purchasing some, two-way radios or something like that, is that correct?
The amount to purchase the two-way radio system and the component is pretty substantial. We're looking at probably 6 digits in figure. But this amount actually just cover, like the internet, like I said, and some of the stuff that, is required to be in place at both stations. In fact, I don't know if I will reserve, some issues that we have.
Yes, so I hope that, that purchasing of a two-way radio or, communication device is very critical for, the fire department. I understand, again, everybody's, sticking their hands in their own personal, pockets to pay for the, the cost of the department, which, it should not be like that, Also, that building that's next to the road, it's not all of one, is that, fire department still, or the fire department?
Referring to the building.
Yeah, the one next to the basketball court, or?
I believe it was a conditional, deed that we had. So nothing is permanent, like I said, and, it's far from getting commission as an actual fire station, but again, those are the things that we, take into consideration and, always on the table for
That's,
discussions.
on the public lands too, right?
That is correct.
So why not just, continue and just, with that location, I just, you just stated earlier that you're looking at acquiring the one next to Discord, right? We're talking about Discord. So why not just maintain that and, just build from there? Is there an issue with that, location?
Oh boy, I hope I'm not in trouble, but, I put it out earlier about a land encroachment issue with that area, so, we're trying to leave that to the mayor and perhaps the delegation to, do further discussion with the landowner. adjacent to where we are, but, as far as developing the place, as much as we love to, be more than happy to do so, and then this, like I said, the 72 funding, but, it's neither the case today, so, yeah.
This is an occupied right now?
It is occupied as a, administrative divisions, logistics, and so forth. It hasn't been commissioned, that for sure, as an actual fire station.
How many fire trucks do you have right now?
There is only one that we have,
Only one, and it's
Correct.
based down in the village.
down to
I think last month or 2 months ago, there was a major or huge wildfire down in Duque, that's right?
correct.
And were you guys able to, I mean, it took about how many days before you guys contained it? How long? I mean, with one fire truck, I mean, that's really important that, I believe that the department should acquire additional and have it based here in the Municipality, because a lot of the wildfires are, up here.
That is correct, absolutely correct. And just to share, the experience that we have from the initial fire, grass fire that we had, I think a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, 5 days. It took these guys 5 days to actually contain that fire, and on day 2, unbelievable. These guys were out there battling that fire from 8 in the morning all the way to like 12 midnight. And then they had to resume again the following day. But we try to maximize what we have. We put every vehicle, anything that we have, we try to go and
It's
do our
very
best.
critical that, the defense acquire an additional fire truck, because if that truck is down, and today, we have, let's say that truck is down today, how are we gonna fight that fire if we don't have an additional fire truck?
Perhaps that will be our work, Congresswoman. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Rep. Judy, Rep. Manny, and then Rep. Thompson. You want to yield to him?
Very much helpful. Just to get that.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Deputy Commissioner and your team for coming. I just got questions on the your revolving fund accounts. And did you say that the fire code was 1,006 or that ambulance? And the other is 1,003, right?
I believe the 1,006 is the ambulance fee,
Ambulance.
and the 1,003 is the fire safety code.
Safety code.
Yeah.
And on a annual basis, I know that it varies, right? Those ambulance fees are based on services provided. What's an average on an annual basis you guys collect on this revolving account?
Congressman, I tell you what, if you can allow me, I can provide you with an answer
Okay, fair enough.
later today. I just want to make sure that we're giving you the right information. We don't have that with us right now.
Okay, but so it leads me to my last question then with regards to this revolving accounts. Are they flexible, or the uses are very specific to purposes? So how is it flexible? You guys can use it for whatever it is you need, whether it's operational, or it's restrictive to specific purposes.
The statute actually restricts, prohibits any other use other than what is being prescribed. It's been written under that law, but I stand corrected again from a present budget. I think it was a revised budget that the governor submits. There was a provision in there that actually suspends that portion and would allow defense, for example, as an agency, to maximize those source of funding. But again, we're always cognizant of the original, in the original intent of the the ambulance fee, so we try to use those funding accordingly,
Sure.
I would say.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I asked, because on these trying times, right, if this August body, needs to go back to its, original statute and kind of amend that statute to kind of make it more flexible for you guys, right? Because, like I said, these trying times with our, the projections that we're looking at for fiscal year 2025 is not how we want it to be. And we need to start looking at all these special accounts and revolving accounts and try to make it as flexible as we can for all other agencies in front. Thank you for your response, and I yield, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Representative Sablan. Representative Castro.
Afternoon, Artie. Thank you for bringing in your team. Question I just had was, these recent grass fires or forest fires, how's the terrain in those areas? Is there accessible roads, or is it mostly like deep in the jungle?
I'll call it Jesus Christ. It's that bad. I mean, I would say roughly folks behind the scene will tell you in a heartbeat, they don't respect like the back of their hand. 80% of the terrains that we had to deal with is rugged, inaccessible to probably vehicles. That's why we also acquire a side-by-side UTV that will assist us, allow us to access those areas. So that's one of the things that we anticipate coming in very, very soon that will assist us to battle these grass fires, as well as the brush fire truck that we're looking forward to getting it ready and available in order.
These are those Yamaha or Kawasaki UTVs.
I think it's a Yamaha.
That's good. That second question I was going to ask if you have a grant writer, or is the grants office, the central grants office, helping you guys with those, or is it defense?
I would say so. They've been pretty instrumental when it comes to helping us prepare grants like that for submissions and so forth. So they're always around.
I'm sure they're reaching out to you in regards to the type of equipment, based on these new types of fires that are out there, so that when they write their grant, they can tailor it to the needs of Rota. Is that correct?
Absolutely correct.
Thank you, Artie.
Thank you, Representative Castro. Any further? A follow-up? Did you yield on the question?
That's what I would check.
Any other questions, comments, concerns? Being there's none, I didn't have any follow-ups with regards to the request. And I believe the deduction or the reduction is from the proposal of the administration, and the budget allocation is because the hours or the percentage went down to 87 points compared to the last fiscal year. So, being there's none, the proposal by the administration, and I guess we'll wait for the Senate. I know we budgeted, or we've allowed an additional funding to come to the island of Rota last fiscal year, and maybe that's something that we're gonna look at again. We understand the hardship of the island, and we'll try our best to look for funding again for this fiscal year. And With that said, I'll now, let me recognize Rep. Angelo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Artie. Just a clarifying question. Thought I heard you say you had 3 vacancies, is that correct? That is correct. Okay, well, just want to clarify, because in our sheet, it's reflecting only 2. That's for the firefighter 1 position. Are you requesting for another brand new FTE for that part? The story behind that is actually right after the submission that we made to the governance office, which is required on us. Subsequently, one of the guys left the department, so it was never reflected on record. But that pretty much put us on 3 vacancies right now. Thank you. And while we're at it, can I respectfully ask the indulgence again of the members for your kind consideration if you can identify any source of funding to reinstate the amount for this vacancy so that we open them up and allow us that opportunity so we can continue to do what we do best. One of the requirements that is actually before us, as far as operating the ambulance, would require at least a minimum of 3 guys on board, and we've been struggling at the moment to avoid having to incur comp time or even overtime because of the nature and the requirements that we must comply with. And so I ask the members from your kind consideration for, if there's a possibility that the funding can be restored. So again, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner, reports.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Chair. Just a follow-up question. So you mentioned that you do not afford any comp time or overtime as of now. Is that correct?
No, we're trying to deviate from that approach, where we're trying to avoid that, so that we're consistent with, I believe it was in a form of an executive order or a directive from the governor. I think it was 2023-03, which is the cost containment measure. But these are the things that it's hard to avoid when it comes to being compliant and being in full operation with the fire department per shift.
So there was a directive from the governor that in terms or in light of the economic situation and to obviously, I'm assuming save some money, you got a directive saying that there will be no overtime? I'm sorry, I didn't really hear what you said.
Yeah, forgive me if it doesn't cross your mind, but we were trying to be consistent with that directive. I believe the content, the content behind that directive is applying the cost containment measure, meaning, for instance, try to avoid, overtime expenditures or even utilities, and the sorts.
So my next question is, are you, I think it was 1893 with defense, it was like that? 72. Okay, so are you afforded the 106 hours also, or are you guys Because you're 80 plus 100 at 6 hours. So you are not exercising that right now due to this directive?
We're following what's given to us, so we're actually at 104. We're 104.
Could you furnish that directive to this committee if you get a chance, please?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield.
Thank you, Rep. Castro. Any further? Being there's none, Commissioner, if you have any statement, closing statement, I will now offer you the closing statement. Now offer that closing statement if you have any.
My chief here made me forget what I was going to say, but I'll try. Yeah, so pretty much, Mr. Chairman and members, again, I don't want to be redundant, but we do need help. We do need these vacancies funded, and there's other things that there's other issues that we are also facing, such as our fleet, our regular vehicles operations. As I point out several times during our cabinet meeting here, how it was hard. So one of our vehicle was heading to ICU. Few days ago, it actually died on us, so died dead in our part. The other one is very close to heading to ICU as well. So that will pretty much leave us with two vehicles, running vehicles, besides from the responding vehicles that we have. The 40 to 50 that we have, and the Tacoma that we have, that's about the only vehicle that we have. And that was because the other ones continue to break. So we're trying our best. We do want to visit Zini at NMHC to see how we can do this and explore all the options that we have. But the sense of urgency today calls for that we also request for your kind consideration and the members, of course, we can be provided with that as well. But trust me when I say that we're doing our part, we'll be reaching out to people like Grant's office, Zini, and all those guys, the wonderful folks that will provide us with that assistance. But meanwhile, that's where we stand today, Mr. Chairman. Our apparatuses as well, some of them are outdated, but thanks to the guys again, the folks behind the scene, they were able to maintain these equipments, and it continues to serve us, but I'm afraid that it is time for us to actually put them on the shelf and try to get ourselves something that is sophisticated that will do the job better than those outdated apparatuses that we have. But again, we're trying our very best. We're reaching out to people again to see how can they assist us in those matters. But there's other issues that we do have, but I'm afraid I'll get fired if I do mention them. So I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it and probably talk to the members of the delegation and see how they can assist us in these matters. But again, I know that, with your kind hearts and everything like that, you won't stop us from actually maybe provide you guys with a written request, if anything. But Mr. Chairman, I will reserve those making comments on those things. But Chiefs, anything to add? Please help me out so I can not on my way.
Thank you, Commissioner. Rep, do you have, okay, so we will have one more follow-up by Rep. Julie. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chairman. So I think last year I did ask about how many ambulances are, working right now. It's still that one ambulance. Or did you guys acquire I mean, there was two ambulances, but one's down, is that what you're saying? How many ambulances are working right now?
We have two operational ambulances.
But the one just died on the.
No, ma'am, again, let me clarify. It's the 4150.
Yeah.
It's an emergency vehicle, response vehicle that greatly assists us, with with the small things or even big things, but this is the fleet that we
Okay, I was
deploy
just,
to
yeah, I was just,
determine,
asking about the
the
ambulance.
nature of the incidents and so forth.
So the two ambulances are in good condition? Okay, thank you. That's all.
Fair.
Thank you, Rep. Julie, and being there's none, thank you again, Commissioner, for making yourself present. I'm sure, none of our members object to increasing the operations of the department should, funds be available. And with that, we'll take a short recess while we excuse the Director for the events. Thank you. Thank you, members. I think that wraps it up with the, President of our district. And with that, I would like to personally thank, Mayor, Aubrey Holcomb for, having herself present here and answering questions. I'd like to thank the Sinamay Judicial, for allowing us to use the court. I'd like to thank, their staff as well for, putting up with the in and out of the, during the public hearing. Also like to thank our staff, our Council Joe, LA Cam, Sarge Tuwai, our IT Dell. Thank you, for making yourself, present and being patient with us. I know, the last 2 days was very quick. And also, last but not least, I'd like to thank, Rep. Julie over and her family, especially Dad. That no one, fought over there this time. Everything was, the food was very good. Thank you to your family for hosting us. We do really appreciate, them coming out and supporting our community. With that, I'll, recognize any member that would like to speak, closing remarks. Rep. Flores.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm going to keep this short, but I also too would like to extend my appreciation to Rep. Ogle, and her family and the people of Rota for their warm hospitality And as always, being so hospitable to us every time we come, not even in our capacity, but just as neighboring brothers and sisters. So thank you to the people of Rota, thank you to the mayor and her team. Once again, thank you, Rep. Ogo, to you and your family for your warm hospitality. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, I yield.
Thank you, Rep. Marissa. Rep. Nani.
On the same line, thank you to the people of Rota, thank you to Mayor Aubrey, Rep. Julie and her family, and the entire staff of the municipality.
Any other member? Being there's none, let me like to recognize a hometown boy here at least to say thank you to his family. Rep. Don Posablan, please, cannot leave the island without thanking your forefathers.
Thank you, Chairman. I do also want to extend my deepest gratitude to Mayor Aubrey and her cabinet members. Also to the people of Rota. It's always been nice to come back home. I'd like to also extend my sincere gratitude to Ogo and her family for feeding us for the past 2 days. They've been great hospitality to us members, and we appreciate them. And I thank also our bureau staff who worked hard for this deliberation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Representative Tompo. Recognize some other hometown boy, Representative Angelo Atali.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do want to thank Mayor Aubrey and the people of Rota. I am sorry that, some employees feel that, it's just formality to come, but I can assure you that this body will work hard to at least get you guys through the year. Thank you for your understanding. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Representative Camacho. Any further? Being there's, let me recognize our hometown girl, Rep. Julie, for the final.
Thank you, Chairman, and yes, I would like also to send the great, my gratitude to the Mayor of Rota and her staff, the resident directors, and all the the people of Rota for welcoming our representative from our neighboring island to hear our concerns and our plea to assist with our budget. And every time I truly understand the struggle that we're going through, and we'll continue to work closely with the members of the House in Saipan to hopefully acquire major assistance to our island. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative Julie. And with that being there's none, the chair now will adjourn at 2:16 p.m. Thank you, members, and just a reminder, we'll be in the Island of Tinian on Tuesday and Wednesday, so we're heading that way. Be prepared. Thank you, members.